So number 3. Okay, so you don't have the C-plane defined well at all. Let's see if we can figure that out. And your distal pit doesn't have very much definition to it either, so that's going to be a little problematic. So let's see what we can do. We want a nice distal pit and a nice distal lingual groove. Now, this plane here on the B plane, you're going to do that by direct vision, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to do it by direct vision so you can see the angle compared to the adjacent tooth. See how horizontal you're making it?
Okay.
You want this angle from the marginal ridge straight through the oblique ridge, And just follow the central groove straight through the oblique ridge. So you've over-reduced the occlusal part of this plane because you had it too horizontal. Watch the vertical angle. Now this groove you're going to make with one side of the burr during this side of the groove and this side of the burr during this side of the groove. Don't just take the burr and try to cut a groove. So watch the video and then put the distal pit over here and have the distal lingual groove going this direction. So here's one side of the distal lingual groove. Here's the other side over here from the pit up this way. Okay, that's what gives us the distal lingual groove, and that's what gives us the definition of the oblique ridge from here following around through here. Your groove tended to be more on top of the oblique ridge. Now when you do the C-plane, point the burr this way. Remember what I said? You've got to be looking down the axis in the mirror. Then you can see the direction you're pointing the burr and make a nice groove right there. So the distal lingual groove comes up the B plane like this and then down the C plane like that. As long as you have the burr pointing in the right direction diagonally, then you can keep it pointing that direction all the way around here. That's what you didn't do. So keep it pointing diagonally from here into the groove and then all the way from here into the groove. Then that'll give you a vertical angle that's going to match the opposing tooth pretty much automatically. Then just finishing around the corner this way. Okay, so let's see how we're doing as far as axial reduction. So we're going to look along the facial wall. So I'm going to look this direction. And it's very similar to how we did the PFMs. We're going to take the angle from the middle third of the adjacent tooth here or here. That's not quite what you're doing. You're leaning out a little bit. You want to get this perfect angle right here. And then I can go gingivally a little bit more. Keep the end of the burr at the margin. But again, double check, triple check that taper. Once you find the taper, lock it in and use only that taper. And then reduce until you see the end of the burr at the margin right there. So you see there's a little bit under reduction there. Secondary plane would be matching the angle of the incisal third here. Okay, so 2/3 like this, 1/3 like that, and you can take care of matching the distal side to the mesial side. Now when you come around the corner, we look this way, and again, make sure you're looking along the wall so you can see where you are gingivally, see where you are axially, and see the taper. Then we should be able to get a nice uniform chamfer around that corner into this embrasure. Now when you do the lingual side, and then I'll let you fix this over here, but you see your end of the burr is inside the tooth and your margin's way far away from the gingiva. Get that margin right down next to the gingiva, and then you can just walk it right on through there, and it'll be easy. Okay, so when we're doing the direct lingual, we can turn this way and use direct vision just like we did on the facial side. So here's the axis. Lean the burr a little bit toward the axis. We can take the taper from the middle third of the adjacent tooth, but not from the molar.
Oh, okay.
The molar is weird.
Yes,
on the Kilgore. So take this taper and reduce until you see the end of the birth, the margin, and get the margin a little deeper gingerly. So there's a nice chamfer, there's a nice taper. Now when we come around the corner, we turn the patient to the left, and then I'm going to look past the head of the handpiece into the mirror. Now I'm looking along the wall, as we always do. I'm going to keep the margin near the gingiva, keep the end of the burr at the margin all the time, and walk that burr right on through there. Okay? So we're always trying to make sure we get a nice uniform chamfer and a taper. And then just walk this through from the lingual, walk it through from the buccal. I can look this way and come through from the buccal. I can lean in a little bit and use the mirror and take it through from the lingual. Do both, and then you'll have the most control over what's happening on that mesial side there. Okay? All right. So do the distal half, like I did the mesial half. Keep the margin near the gingiva all the time. Keep the end of the burr at the margin all the time. And then finish the other surfaces there. Match up the distal side to the mesial side that I did. And then we'll work on another prep. Okay? All right.